Major Gregory Keene continues the story from a car parked by the curb in Fenall Street. The tide of affairs in the search for Bruno Kesselring is beginning to turn. We're still in deep water. We're still groping about in the dark. But since Tom Cutts arrived in Sydney, we've been able to go on the offensive. We've a base of operations, Sherry's house on the Hawkesbury. We've unidentifiable transport. Cutts bought a good second-hand car this morning. And we're not letting any grass grow. We're going after the fellow Huberman palmed off as me. So far, we know his name is Barnes, Nick Barnes. Last night, I sent Cutts into the .38 club to see how things stood with Evelyn Channel. We drew a blank, as Cutts said himself.
They're not letting anyone near her, Major. There's a fence round her 10 feet high.
So we had to pull a rather childish subterfuge out of the hat. On the assumption that Evelyn's flat would be guarded night and day, and Cutts would have to get past the guard, we made him a vacuum cleaner salesman. 10 minutes ago, he carted his cleaner into the block from Fenall Street. I just had the signal from her window. He's in with Evelyn Channel now.
The Major's down in the street right now, miss. I could show you from the window.
I'm taking a risk accepting you so quickly, Cutts.
Not with me, you're not, Miss Channel. And what's more, we haven't got time to argue about it. Now, tell me, is Felix Huberman still confident about you?
Yes.
He thinks he's got you fooled with this bloke, Nicky Barnes.
I've been breaking my neck with Nicky Barnes. I've had to save my own.
That's what Major Keene said. We had to talk to you without anyone knowing, or your life wouldn't be worth a 10-acre piece.
I can't tell you much more about Barnes, except that he lives with Felix Huberman, and he spends most of his nights at the Poinsettia Club.
Well, that'll be enough.
And what'll you do about him?
We're leaving that up to the Major. But we have to lay our hands on him first, and that's where you come in.
Oh, there's been so much I wanted to know. I've been frantic since I found out about Barnes. What became of Keene?
Oh, it's a long story, miss, and we just haven't got the time. If I hang about here too long, that bloke of Huberman's in the lift will be wondering what's up. Here. Take this phone number. It'll get a message to the Major any time of the night or day.
Yes, but where is he? Who's looking after him?
We're giving you just that number and nothing else, miss. If Huberman ever caught on to you and made you talk...
All right, let's have it. Walnut 66. Walnut. That's one of those BO71 exchanges, hmm?
That's right. You dial BO71 and ask for Walnut 66. Is your phone tapped?
Yes, it has been for 5 days. Since Keene escaped from the police on the Harbour Bridge, I've been watched night and day. Huberman tells me they're his own men. He says it's for my own safety.
Oh, so it is in a way, miss. They can only let you live so long as you think Major Gregory Keene is Sammy Rice. Listen. Hear that? That's the Major.
Signal to you?
Yeah. Come here to the window, quickly. See that big black sedan pulling in down there?
It's Felix Huberman's car.
Yeah, that bloke on the lift. I thought he was taking a bit too much notice. Huberman's coming in.
Cutts, you can't hide here. There's nowhere to put you.
Take it easy, miss. I've still got me vacuum cleaner.
Yes, but you'll run straight into Felix. Oh, dear. The lift man will make sure of it and he'll remember you.
Only if I go down.
But you have to get out of here. Where else can you go?
I can go up. I don't want to cart this ruddy vacuum cleaner around the rest of my days, so we'll just whiz up to the flats over your head and sell it. Let the lift man and Huberman scratch their flaming heads which flat I'm in.
When and where will I hear from you again?
And ring the Walnut number tonight.
I'll open the door. He's still there watching my door, Cutts. The lift man. No, really, I can't give you any more time, and I've no intention whatever of buying a vacuum cleaner. Now, goodbye.
Please yourself, ma'am. Good afternoon. Good blimey. This is like trying to sell foot warmers in the Belgian flaming Congo. All right, matey. What would you be staring at? Would you like a vacuum cleaner? All right. When you get over it, what about taking us up one? Or would it be too much trouble?
What's become of him? Next door up. Did you see which flat he went into?
No.
If he buzzes, you take him right down and let me know. I've Mike Cusick on the entrance. He can't get out till I've had a good look at him. Keep your eyes open.
Sure.
Hello, Evelyn, darling.
Felix, come in.
How are you?
I wish you'd been here 5 minutes ago.
Yeah?
I had the most appalling time trying to get rid of one of those door-to-door characters with a vacuum cleaner. Like a fool, I let him in. Oh, do they cling?
Well, I hope you put him to work.
Oh, he did the lounge carpet, but then he was like a limpet. Only a fiver down, 20 years to pay, all that sort of thing. Never again.
He quite definitely was a salesman, I suppose.
Hmm? Oh, well, if he weren't, heaven keep me safe from the real ones.
If he weren't, it wouldn't be funny, Evelyn.
Oh, really, Felix, sweetheart.
Sammy Rice is still at large, you know.
Yes, but surely you wouldn't try to get him with a vacuum cleaner salesman.
Why not?
But it doesn't make sense.
Makes all the sense in the world.
Felix, this character was absolutely harmless. It was written all over him. Darling, how much longer do I have to live with your men breathing down my neck?
Till the police get hold of Sammy Rice, or I get report from Major Keane clearing up the whole affair with Bruno Kesselring.
When's Keane leaving for Singapore?
Well, he was to have gone the day after tomorrow. Yes. But now it looks like hanging on till sometime next week.
Felix,
Hmm.
I have an undercut of bread and some mushrooms in the freezer. Could you possibly stay here and let me cook for you?
Oh, how I'd like to. It's too much doing.
Too much doing? By the name of Carlotta Magnani?
Oh, now, Evelyn, not again.
I'm still hearing things.
I thought we had Carlotta threshed out between us. Oh, yes, I still see her from time to time, but you should care less than nothing.
Oh, all right. But you haven't been near me at the poinsettia for days and days, Felix.
I'll make up for it as soon as this affair's finished and done with.
Will Gregory Keane be at the club tonight?
Possibly.
What if he insists on bringing me home again?
Oh, well, hang it, surely it's not too much trouble to be pleasant to the fellow.
Just so long as I don't have to entertain him till 4 in the morning.
Oh, well, I'll have a word in his ear. And, Evelyn, next time a hawker knocks at your door, don't let him in. Understand?
I suppose so.
Goodbye, darling. Keep your chin up. Things will straighten themselves out in time.
Yes, I hope so. Goodbye, Felix, sweet. Don't leave me alone too much. He's watching me and he's testing me. Throwing Nicky bombs at me night after night. And if I make one mistake, if I slip just once, he'll kill me. He'll have to. Have to ring this Walnut number tonight. B071, Walnut double.
Well, what about it, Cuts?
Well organized, Major. A liftman's working for Huberman, watching everyone who goes in or out of a flat.
Mm-hmm. What about that type hanging about the main entrance?
A real tough one by the look of him.
You know who he is? He's the fellow who shoved the Luger in my back the night I stepped off the flying boat at Rose Bay.
Then I did the right thing coming out of the flats without that ruddy cleaner.
Watch it. There's Huberman. He's talking to the thug. Shaking his head, leaving the thug there alone. Making for his car. Telling him to wait for someone leaving the flats with a vacuum cleaner. I'll bet you anything you like.
Well, he's going to have a long wait. The cleaner's in a cupboard up on the top floor. What do we do now, Major?
We get away from here before Huberman catches sight of us. Start up. Just cruise about till you see a public phone.
Are we going to ring?
Jerry Reed. I want to know where she's meeting us with the speedboat. And I want to know if Evelyn's doing anything for us about Nicky Barnes.
Why don't we go for him bald-headed?
Don't worry, Cuts, old chap, we do. We turn left just along here. If I remember rightly, there's a box a few yards up from the corner.
What's the matter with you tonight, Evelyn? You've got the shakes.
Felix Huberman's the matter with me. He's watching me like a hawk, and he keeps trying me out about you, Barnes.
Oh, call me Keane, can't you? I'm on a tightrope. If you've ever heard that I got drunk here in your flat that night and gave myself away. When did you last see him?
This afternoon. Oh, you needn't panic. If I'd put the finger onto you, Felix, the harbor sharks would have had us both hours ago. 500 quid, you let the murderer man and pin it on Gregory Keane. There's still nothing I can do about it and live. It's after 2, Barnes. You'd better hop it.
Who's that tooting out there? Look, the night's a pup. Let's have another slug of that brandy for Pete's sake.
You've been here long enough. Beat it. I only bring you here for the sake of appearances, but that doesn't say you can move in.
Oh, all right, I'm going. Good night. See you tomorrow at the club, if we last that long.
Goodbye, and don't forget that if either of us steps a foot out of line, we're both done for.
As though I'm likely to.
I should be able to see from this window. Unless I made a mistake when that car tooted just now.
Excuse me, Matty. Got a light?
Yes, of course. Here we are.
Thanks. Light one yourself, Mr. Barnes. And look down at my left hand. Get the idea? Now, what would you like to do? Take 3 or 4 slugs in your brisket? Or walk 3 paces ahead of me round the corner?
What happens round the corner?
You step into a green sedan with me right there to keep you company.
Are you one of Huberman's men?
No. I'm going to introduce you to Major Gregory Keene.
We have Nick Barnes, and he'll talk or go back to the NightShade ring, something the worse for wear. Before tonight's out, I'm going to know the answers to a few questions. I'm going to know what goes on in this underworld jungle of Sydney.
Huberman's men watch a speedboat on Pittwater in the next chapter of this story of intrigue, Deadly NightShade.